Hey everyone, this is David Brown. Today I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of a Hawk Watch counter. I'm aiming this at those who are considering seasonal work as the paid professional counter at a Hawk Watch. That's me in the blue from when I was the counter at the Ashland Hawk Watch during the fall of 2017, along with, from left to right, Holly, Joe, and Kim. The responsibilities of a Hawk Watch counter vary from position to position. The job listing usually covers things pretty well. You can always find out more information by emailing the contact person. During a phone interview, you will have things explained in more detail, and you'll have a chance to ask questions. Let me talk a little bit about housing. In most cases, you will be living away from home for a period of a few months. Most Hawk Watch jobs provide housing, but not all do, so be sure to ask if it is not mentioned on the job listing. There are two main types of housing. One is staying in the home of someone associated with the Hawk Watch, and the other is housing that is available for hosting seasonal employees, such as at a nature center. In either case, you will have to be a good roommate and clean up after yourself. Now, let's consider the responsibilities of a typical day of Hawk Watching. Your daily schedule is very repetitive. You'll get up at the same time each day and do the same things in the same order. The daily variation that keeps the job exciting is in the birds that you see and the people who visit. You will work somewhere between 5 and 7 days a week, with additional days off on rainy days. You will be responsible for getting to the site at the appropriate time. If you don't live on site, then you'll usually have to drive your own vehicle. You'll be in charge of bringing and setting up the equipment. So at Ashland, this meant grabbing a spotting scope and a backpack out of a storage closet. And from the backpack, I was in charge of getting out the paper forms and the equipment like the weather meter. Hourly weather readings include wind, temperature, barometric pressure, and humidity. Don't worry if you don't have experience with something like the weather meter, because it only takes about 2 minutes to learn. At Ashland, we also used a hypsometer, which is a device that you can use to measure the altitude of raptors. You may use an app to keep track of the migrating raptors and the weather. Dunkadoo and Trektellan are the two main ones. These may replace keeping the data on paper or may be used in conjunction with the paper forms. Either way, for each migrating raptor, you'll be marking it down either in an app or on paper. You may also have volunteers helping you as data recorders so you can focus on spotting and identifying raptors while they do the paperwork. At the end of the day, you are responsible for putting all of the equipment away, and you'll submit the raptor and weather data to hawkcount.org. If you're using an app, this may be automatically submitted. In that case, to finish the submission, you only need to fill out a few text boxes and hit a button to send out the daily summary email. You may also be required to write blog posts, or you may get in the habit of posting to a Facebook group to keep people informed. In most cases, you'll be required to write an end-of-season report as well. These can be quite extensive, but usually you can use past years as a template. Now, what about actually acting as the lead counter? I'm going to make a separate video with my tips on this, but here are the main points. You are in charge. It's your primary responsibility to make sure that all of the individual responsibilities get taken care of. You're in charge of keeping accurate data, and if a problem comes up, you are the one who needs to handle it. And you control the atmosphere of the Hawk Watch to a great extent. And there can be a fine balance between socializing and hawk watching, and you need to find it each day. You need to focus to make sure birds are being counted, but you also want to make people feel welcome. You'll be interacting with visitors of different experience levels, so at a minimum, you should be greeting people and calling out migrant raptors. You'll have a group of regular visitors that you'll become friends with, so don't be intimidated about not knowing anyone at the beginning. Take care of these responsibilities and you'll end up with a season of great memories that will last a lifetime.